Morning guys. It's been a while. I feel like I haven't really been on camera this week at all, but I'm back, hopefully, for good. I don't know how the next couple of weeks are going to pan out, but I'm going to try my best to be, to be as consistent as I can with the filming. As you know, I went on Friday to get my results for the patch tests, and I wasn't really thinking much of it, guys, to be honest. I wasn't really worried about it at all. Because from the Monday I had the patch tests put on, right? But from the Tuesday, I'd already started to react. I was itching, scratching, like trying to scratch with the bands on my back so badly. And when I went on the Wednesday to have them taken off, we saw a massive rash on my back from the nickel. So nickel was positive. And I kind of done a little bit of a deep dive and looked into nickel and the things that I currently use that contain nickel. And I have to say, it's everywhere in my house, from my laptop to this that I use every day, well, most days for devotion, to my stands that I use for filming. It's everywhere. It's in everything that I use. So I am exposed to it quite a lot. And the thing is, I knew I was allergic to a metal because when I was younger and I first had my eyesight tested, I bought metal frames and I soon saw that I'd have a rash like all on my face here and around behind my ears. And if I wore costume jewellery or anything that had fake gold or silver on it, I'd get a rash around my ears and around the back of it where the clasp hit my skin. So I knew I was allergic to a metal, but because these were kind of like simple fixes in the sense that I just stopped wearing it, I didn't think it would be something that I'd have to address maybe later on in life or even at all ever again. But your body changes, I'm aware of that. And as you get older, your hormones change and you can become more sensitive or susceptible to certain things that you weren't susceptible in the past. So I can understand the change, or just being more exposed to it and it becoming an issue. What I didn't know is that because you are allergic to these things, there are certain time periods throughout the month as a woman that you can be more sensitive to. And I think at first I didn't notice there was a pattern with my flare-ups, that I tend to have my flare-ups the week before my period. And I found out during my little deep dive that is when the histamine in your body is at its highest, meaning you are more susceptible to an allergic reaction, which is why usually people tend to break out on their skin, have acne on their skin the week before their period, like cravings or whatever, right? So your immune system is at its weakest that week and the week after. It made sense to me. I thought, okay, this is calm. It's not even like I'm actually breaking out with this allergen any other time of the month. It's just the week before my period. So if I can, be hyper aware of what's going on, especially around that time of the month, I'd be fine. So I was expecting on Friday to go and for them to tell me, you've got a nickel allergy, here's how to limit your exposure, and I'd go on my merry way. What I didn't expect was that I'd have a brand new doctor. If you are in the UK, you're lucky if you actually have the same doctor twice, let alone 3 times. And I've been to see the dermatologist now 3 times and I've had 3 different doctors. The first one was back 2 years ago. Then the other one I had was a year ago. And then now this one. And she was just saying to me that, she believes that I may have lupus. I've had so many people comment this in the comment section saying it looks like lupus because of the butterfly shape on my skin here. That's the only thing that she's saying it could be. She asked my medical history. She asked if I have any sores in my mouth. She asked if I have any of the other symptoms that come with lupus, and I don't. The only thing that she's going off of is my face, which she's already said that is a very weak reason. I've asked her, would I have been able to manage the lupus so far without any medicine? And she said, no, it wouldn't have been dormant and then all of a sudden just come up. But it can have been triggered from hormonal changes. So I'm getting older, as I said, and maybe my hormones have triggered me to have this autoimmune disease. So how it's currently been left is that I'm going in for blood testing on Monday, which doesn't actually give you a yes or no, which I'm a bit upset about. It will tell you if you definitely don't have it, but it doesn't tell you whether you do. Even if it is positive for this blood test, I still have to have maybe other testing done, such as a biopsy. So we're not out of the woods, guys. And I really thought that I'd come away with less questions and more answers, but it looks like it's going to be another few weeks maybe, or even a couple months before I really know what's going on. At the moment, I am using the steroid cream again to just really settle my skin because it is so painful, and it has been so painful. And I was hesitant to use it. I wasn't sure what it was, beforehand. And even if it is lupus, they would still give me the same steroid cream to actually settle it. So I've started to use it again, and I've started to use a whole new system of skin management because of the nickel allergy as well. Doctor printed out a nickel information sheet, and where is it found? It's in numerous household and industrial applications. So it says it's found in coins. Fun fact about the coins situation, I haven't used coins in years, but when I first had my flare-up, I was heavily into cash stuffing, where I was using a lot of coins. So I can see how, if this is just a nickel allergy, why it started when it did, because I was still heavily using coins, heavily using cash, and not really realising that this would affect me. Jewellery, I don't wear jewellery anyway, apart from my watch, which I know has nickel in it. Eyeglasses, stopped wearing that years ago. Utensils, so as I said, knives and forks. Metal buttons, I've always had a rash around like my belt buckle, or if I have a pair of jeans on, I don't put any like a top underneath or between me and the jeans, I'd always get a rash there. But I've learned over the years never to do that, so I've always got a long top on. I've rarely got a pair of jeans on without a long top on underneath it, Keys, I do need to sort this out because this is fully metal, so I do need to sort out getting some plastic door keys or key coverings. Pigment for paint and wallpaper. So again, the pigment side of things is in paint and wallpaper, and it's also in makeup. Now, if you go and look on any paint, you're probably not going to see nickel on there, but the tin itself is nickel. And the paint does have nickel inside of it. So is makeup got nickel inside of it. Again, they're not going to tell you that they have these things, and it's only going to affect people who have a nickel allergy. Where I was thinking like the paint itself, being allergic to the paint, I didn't really take into consideration that paint has got nickel inside of it. I didn't know this. The heavier the pigment, the worse the nickel content is. And I've been using black paint. So again, we can kind of understand why I had the flare up, guys, if it is just a nickel allergy. Electrical wiring, I don't think that's an issue for me. It's also used as a fuel additive. So yeah, it's just telling me to help me manage it. It gave me this sheet to help me manage it, which is helpful, but I've still got to do my own research, which I've done as much as I can, but I just thought I'd let you know what she's given me as well. Yeah, and although this is a list of the things which will have nickel inside of it, it doesn't mean I can't use these products. That's one thing I want to kind of like make it clear. It doesn't mean I can't ever use paint or I can't ever wear makeup. It means that when I do expose myself to these things, I have to take precautions. To be honest, I probably won't be wearing makeup as much anyway, or anything that has pigment in it. So mascara, blushes, all those things. But it doesn't mean I can't use it. It just means I have to be aware that this is going to cause some kind of reaction. I got this massive box from Amazon of all the new things that I'm going to be using. The first thing I have to do is wear gloves when I go to the gym. So I've got these full hand gloves because there is metal, obviously, on the handle of the dumbbells that I use. And I use dumbbells every single session. There's even dumbbells that I use currently that are fully metal. Some of them have got rubber at the end, but the ones that I use, or I've been using, are fully metal, so they have nickel in them. Things that are stainless steel also will probably have nickel as an alloy as well, which I didn't know about. So even if it says stainless steel, it probably has nickel. That means cutlery. That means like tweezers. There's loads of things I have to replace, Oh, I've got a box of tissues. I didn't mean to show that. This is Epiderm. This is going to be an ointment that I use on my face. as like a cream. It's really good at, like, it doesn't burn or anything like that, which is great. I've got some wristbands so that if I am sweating, which I rarely do, to be honest, in the gym, I don't really touch my face anyway in the gym. I know it sounds crazy, but what I might do though is I may touch my hand, like, or the back of my wrist with my hand. So I've got some wristbands for that. I've got a cover for my laptop. It's just these plastic guards to go on either side of the keyboard so that I don't touch or rest my hand on there and then touch my face. I've also got one for the trackpad that's in the middle of the laptop, so I don't touch that because that is fully nickel, which I didn't know. It's like a mouse on the MacBook, so when I'm touching that and then I'm touching my face, that's transferring the nickel on there. I've got this, which is, it's called Phem Cavilon. It's a barrier film that you spray onto your wrist or you spray onto your watch. I've got a Garmin Venue 3, which I use constantly. I wear that every single day. I rarely take it off. Maybe once a week I take it off. That has nickel in it as well. And it has caused a rash on my hand that comes and goes. But again, I'm not thinking that this is all linked to my face. Like, I'm not thinking anything of it, really. Even though it says it doesn't have nickel on the back of it, it actually does. Long story how I found that out, but it actually does contain nickel, especially on the buttons and things like that, which are metal. So if I'm touching the buttons, which I do when I'm running, and then I'm touching, like, you know, it's easily transferred. So I've taken my watch off. I'm going to spray it now with this no sting barrier that will hopefully protect me from doing that. I don't know how often I have to spray it though. I need to look at the instructions, but I think I have to spray this quite regularly, especially on my wrist. I've got some shower emollient. I don't have the rash anywhere else on my body, but when I am in a flare-up, it would probably be a good idea to use a shower gel that doesn't have any fragrance in it so that it doesn't prolong the flare-up, especially as I want to stop using the steroid cream on my face. I don't want that to be the only thing that I use to combat this thing. And I've also got it as a soap as well, and I've also got it as a hand wash so that I can, again, limit the amount of fragrance that I have in contact with as well. The last thing I got was some disposable face towels. I currently use a flannel to wash my face. I am going to continue to use these disposable ones. My whole method is going to be limiting anything that the children would be using or anything that anyone else may come into contact with. So I'm going to have like my own towels and my own flannels anyway. But these face towels are for me so that when I wash my face with the face wash, then rinse it off with water. I'm not going to be using flannel. And then I'll pat it dry with the face towels. And then I'll use the cream to seal it in. And that's how I'll go on. So that was the last thing that I got. Let me know. I know that a lot of you are doing so much in the background for me, such as research and praying and things like that. But let me know if there's anything else that you think I should get to help me limit my nickel exposure, guys. I truly do believe in my heart of hearts that that's probably what it is. But the lupus testing, I think it's a precaution more than anything else. Or I'm praying it is a precaution more than anything else. But I mean, even if it isn't, I'm sure that we'll get through it, you know. I will not be the first person to be diagnosed with it, and I surely won't be the last. But yeah, that's it really, guys. I just wanted to give you a skin update and let you know where it currently stands. I will obviously let you know the results of the testing. But for now, I just want to really try and get back to some sort of normalcy. I feel like, again, as I said, things have just been really up and down. And but yeah, thanks for listening, and have a good day. Bye, guys.